Verk pushed through the airlock of the Meridian Station diner, with shoulders that carried the weight of 3 double shifts. His flight suit still smelled of recycled air and desperation. 22 hours of hauling cargo through the belt had left him with exactly enough credits for coffee and synthetic eggs. Nothing more. The diner hummed with the usual crowd. Miners comparing scars, traders swapping lies, and exhausted haulers like himself who'd forgotten what Earth's real gravity felt like. He slumped into a corner booth, the cracked synth leather wheezing beneath him. That's when he saw her. She sat 3 tables away, alone, nursing something amber in a crystal glass that had no business existing in a place like this. Her hair, platinum blonde and impossibly elegant, caught the dim neon lights. But it was her eyes that stopped his heart. Ice blue, sharp enough to cut through hull plating, yet holding a familiar warmth he'd spent 15 years trying to forget. "Elsa," he whispered. She didn't hear him. She was absorbed in a data pad, her fingers dancing across its surface with the practiced efficiency of someone who commanded, rather than requested. She wore civilian clothes, simple and dark, but there was something in the way she held herself. Authority radiated from her like heat from a reactor core. Verk's coffee arrived, delivered by a wheeled bot that had seen better decades. He didn't touch it. Memories flooded back. University on Earth, before the colonies, before everything changed. Elsa had been brilliant then, a political science major with dreams of reforming the Martian governance system. He'd been in engineering, head full of starship designs and foolish hope. They'd been inseparable until graduation day, when she received her assignment to Mars and he'd been posted to the cargo routes. "I'll write," she'd promised. Every day. For 6 months she had. Then the messages stopped. He'd heard rumors over the years. Mars had gone through a revolution. The colonial council overthrown by someone unexpected. A new government had formed, fair and fierce, led by a woman who'd united the fractured domes under a single banner. But he'd never connected those stories to the girl who used to fall asleep on his shoulder in the campus library. A group of well-dressed individuals entered the diner, moving with military precision. They scanned the room, hands hovering near concealed weapons. One spotted Elsa and visibly relaxed, taking up positions near the exits. Verk's blood went cold. Bodyguards, she wasn't just anyone. She was her, the Empress of Mars, the woman who'd stood before the Earth Council and demanded independence, who'd stared down a fleet of warships with nothing but words and absolute conviction. The woman who'd won. He should leave. This wasn't his world anymore. He was a hauler drowning in debt, wearing a patch suit that had been secondhand when he bought it. She was a head of state, reshaping the solar system's political landscape. But then her eyes lifted from her datapad and found his. Recognition flickered across her face like lightning. The datapad clattered to the table. For a moment, the Empress of Mars vanished, and there was only Elsa, 20 years old again, looking at him with the same mixture of joy and sorrow that had marked their goodbye. She stood, and her security detail tensed. With a slight gesture, she waved them back. She crossed the diner and measured steps, each one seeming to take a lifetime. "Verk?" Her voice was the same underneath all the years and power. "Hey, Els." His throat was suddenly very dry. I thought you were still running the belt routes." "I am." He gestured to his worn uniform. Glamorous life. She slid into the booth across from him without asking, without ceremony. Up close, he could see the weight she carried, too. Different from his, but no less heavy. Tiny lines creased the corners of her eyes, earned from staring down bureaucrats and warlords alike. "I'm sorry," she said quietly, "about the messages. Mars was chaotic. I got pulled into things I never expected. You became Empress. I became necessary." She smiled, sad and sharp. Someone had to organize the resistance. Someone had to speak when everyone else was afraid. It just happened to be me. Verk laughed, short and bitter. "Of course it was you. You were always going to change the world. I was just the idiot engineer who thought he could keep up. You kept up fine." Her hand reached across the table, hovering near his. "You're still out there, still working, still surviving. Do you know how rare that is? How many people break under the weight of the belt?" "Most," he admitted. "But not you. That's very human of you, Verk. Stubborn, enduring." Her fingers brushed his, electric and impossible. "We built Mars on that stubbornness. Every dome, every farm, every child born in Martian gravity is a testament to humans who refuse to quit." He looked at their hands, touching after 15 years of silence. Why are you really here, Els? You could send people to get whatever you need. Because I'm tired too, she said softly. Because even an Empress needs to remember where she came from. And because, she squeezed his hand, I never stopped wondering about the engineer who wanted to build ships that could touch the stars. Outside the viewport, Mars hung in the distance, red and defiant in hers. Verk looked at it, then back at Elsa. Want to tell me about it? He asked. About Mars? She smiled, genuine and warm. Order something stronger than coffee. It's a long story. I've got time. Good. Because humanity's best stories always are. And in that forgotten diner between worlds, an exhausted hauler and an Empress talked like they were 20 again, proving once more that humans, stubborn, enduring, impossible humans, never truly let go of the things that matter. 'Cause that's what humans do.